inside your bedroom. We stopped counting the days, lost in the rhythm. Physical silence, no need to speak a word. Lay you beside me. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I never dare to ask if we're gonna last. I'm needing all your love, needing all your love. Oh, when you go, oh my God, you know you're playing your cards so right. Oh, I was looking for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I was looking for hearts, I was looking for hearts. Your blood is pumping, I feel it in your veins, surfing your heat waves. Your taste is different, somehow it makes me brave. Chemical nature. Don't wanna move too fast. Your lips on the flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. Oh, when you go, oh my God, you know you're playing your cards so right. Oh, I was looking for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I was looking for hearts, I was looking for hearts, hearts, hearts. I was looking for hearts, hearts, hearts. I was looking for hearts. Oh my God, I'm a fool. Thought I'd never fall into you. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so cruel how I'm loving the things you do. Ooh, yeah. Oh, when you go, oh my God, you know you're playing your cards so right. Oh, I was looking for hearts, just in the dirty clubs and diamonds. Take me, oh my God, oh, but we'll hold our faces straight. Oh, I was looking for hearts, I was looking for hearts, hearts, hearts. I was looking for hearts, hearts, hearts. I was looking for hearts. Too fast, your lips on my flask, sipping on your love, sipping on your love. I was looking for hearts.
Oh my goodness. Hello. It has been a while since I've been live like this, and I've never been live this early in the day. I'm normally on live streams late in the evenings, just because it's usually when I have the time, but my new schedule allows me a little bit more time freedom and afternoons off. But we'll get into all of my updates here in just a little bit. Welcome. If you are new, I am Amy Prokopis. I am an author. I've also expanded, and I'm also now editing. I've just started that pretty recently. I'm already through a couple different projects for people. Very exciting. And I'm really loving it so far. It's been a really good expansion for me. And it's just fun reading other people's works and helping other authors, especially other indie authors, get their books out into the world. That is so much fun. Love that. So I am really excited to be here. I have wanted to bring back the weekly live streams for so long, since I stopped doing them in about January. And as I have done a lot of like market research, honestly, and diving into my own analytics on those videos, doing some time audits to see where in my schedule things fit, I decided that a weekly live stream may be more work than it might be worth. And so I launched a couple months ago the whole Read Books, Be Kind campaign, which was more of a reminder for myself to be kind to myself, and to give myself some grace, look at the positivity, and just to continue looking forward. And so that entire campaign, I've loved working on, and I thought that it would fit very well for a first of the month live stream. So I am actually very booked today when it comes to things I get done. And I actually held off a day. I was going to do a lot of my author admin stuff yesterday because I typically do like Sundays and Mondays for that kind of stuff, get all of my bookkeeping done, set up for the month, and social media planning and such. But I held off because I thought it would be really fun to insert that here into this live stream. So you guys are going to get to work on that a little with me. And I'm hoping to transition and do a little more editing for one of my clients as well. But we'll start with some of the bookkeeping stuff. So thank you guys for joining me. A lot of my regular friends are here. Hello. Yes, Jessica says I could use some co-working right now. I feel the same way. I've loved getting online with you guys like this in the past, and I've missed it so much. And I'm hoping that we can do this the first of every month and just make it a Read Books, Be Kind sort of live stream as we plan our goals and things that we're looking forward to for the month. So that sort of brings me to the first question I have, the first thing that I wrote down, which is, what is something good about this week? Or yeah, what is something good about this week? What do we all have going on? I haven't thought about my own answers to these questions. So I think for me, it is a really busy week, but busy in really good ways. I start a bunch of different editing projects this week, which I'm super excited to get into. They're all a little different, which is fun. Another good thing is the stream. I'm really excited for this. And this is the first week at my new job. Because if you guys have been with me for a while, I was a full-time school counselor. I left that in May when the school year wrapped, and I transitioned as I'm finishing all of my licensing requirements to be a therapist. I've moved to a counseling agency near me, and I'm working there with them as I finish my credentials. So this is the first week that I was able to sit in on a lot of therapy sessions with some clients I think I'll be able to see more often. So I've got kind of like a regular thing going with some of these people, which is really fun. And today especially, I got to tag with one therapist for the entire day, and I got to see what their normal workday kind of looks like, which was really fun and exciting. So things are going super well. It's crazy what a change of environment can do for you. And I was busting at the seams with author stuff. So I'm super excited about this new era for me, and excited for this entire week of getting the opportunity to do that with clients, and then the opportunity to edit books and do the author thing with more daily dedicated time. So that's exciting. Felicia, I have a question about editing. How much back and forth is included in the price? What type of editing is included? What's the turnaround time frame for a 25K novella? Ooh, 25K novella could probably be pretty quick. I have, if it's a developmental edit for me, which is my more involved ones where I look at the plot, I also do grammar, I do all of it in that stage. I budget about 30 days for myself on most all projects. And that is a little long for me. I can finish it within the 30 days, but it gives me extra time to make notes and go back in and look at things specifically if I want to. So it just allows me a little bit more wiggle room in case I need it in my schedule. A 25K novella would probably take me like half of the time, maybe, because it's really not too long. For me, I'll go through a book once for the price that's listed on my website. So all of those are at amyprokopis.com under the editing tab, if you guys are curious about booking with me at all. And right now, I do developmental editing, which is my favorite. It is the most involved, though, so it takes a lot of my time and a lot of my energy to do that because there's just so much involved in it. But I also do copy editing, which is more grammar and style focused. And I'll do proofreading, which is kind of the lightest load, and that would take me the absolute least amount of time. So if you have a really tight novel or you've already done a lot of those editing steps, proofreading would be strictly grammar for me and looking at basic consistencies. That could be done in like a final file, your interior final. So what a book looks like on the inside, you could send me like the PDF of that, and I could go through what it actually looks like on the PDF. That way I can also catch things if formatting's weird. Because I have noticed in my own Vellum software, which is what I use to do the interior of my books, I have noticed that sometimes Vellum scrambles some things. Or when I download it, depending on where I'm uploading it, sometimes those softwares don't necessarily meet correctly and they scramble things a little bit. So it's not so much Vellum as it is wherever I'm putting it online. So hopefully that answered things a bit. Jessica said that my good thing this week is I'm transitioning into being a stay-at-home mom, wife, and stay-at-home mom for the future since I am currently pregnant. I had no idea, Jessica. Oh my goodness, congrats. That's super exciting. I'm sure that will be a fun new adventure for you too. That's a pretty big change. I hope everything health-wise and stuff is going well for you and that it's a pretty easy transition. Because I know being pregnant can be really, like, everyone has different symptoms and experiences. And I know for some people being pregnant can be like a lot of work. It can feel like a lot. So hopefully everything is going well for you. Thank you guys. Yeah, and definitely congrats on the new baby. That is so exciting. Okay. So that is what is going well. My other question was, what is everyone looking forward to? I think we've all kind of addressed that a tad. I know for me, what I'm looking forward to this month, I'm really hoping to get back into into writing Trial of Flame and Wings, which is my dragon-esque fantasy romance. It is more fantasy than a lot of my previous books, which have been more urban fantasy set in our real world. This book, Trial of Flame and Wings, is set in an entirely fantasy world with its own mythology. So Patreon members, if you're a Patreon member, a couple months ago, I actually uploaded for those members the mythology to this world. I decided when I was thinking about how I wanted to write this book, I decided that I wanted to write it in parts because it's a lot more interesting to show than it is to tell, of course. And then with fantasy books, where there is a lot of world building, sometimes it can be extremely difficult to explain the world in such a way that doesn't feel like info dumping. Like a lot of books will open up chapter 1, here's the setting, here's all the things you need to know. For this story, because the world, like, I'm going to have to do a whole map for this series. So because it encompasses so much, I didn't want the book to feel info dumpy, and I wanted it to start in the location where book 1 takes place. So I decided it would be much more interesting to write it in parts and to explain the mythology, which in turn explains the entire world and the people in it. The start of every part is going to be like a short paragraph, a segment from like essentially like religious texts. There are different mythological beings like gods and goddesses, and they all come from the same religious text, but each section explains a different one of these religious figures that are very important in explaining the culture and the people within this world. So I thought that was a lot more interesting than telling the entire story from the beginning. So it's uncovered to you as those elements become important in book one. So each part reveals something that will become prevalent in that book. And so I'm really pleased with the way I did it. And you can read it if you are a Patreon member, and you can also read it if you pre-order Curse of Wings and Darkness, this vampire romance, which comes out in October. You can get that when you pre-order this book. And then there's a form linked on all of my social media. When you fill out your confirmation of your pre-order, you get an email with that 10-part mythology. You get chapter 1 of Trial in Flame and Wings. You also get the first 3 chapters of Curse of Wings and Darkness, which I think is also already on Patreon. Patreon members also got all of those things. So that was a really long explanation and such that I gave, but really fun. Yeah, I am super looking forward to getting back to that book. Hello, Margaret. Jessica says, I'm excited to be drafting again. Writing is my favorite part of the whole process for sure. So I'm also excited for that. I'm excited to wrap up my second draft in 11 days. Ooh, I'm on a 30K in 30 days to finish. Ooh, that is exciting. The way I used to work, that is also why I've had kind of a hard time in this transition, figuring out a schedule and really knowing what I can expect of myself. Because in the past, I used to write my books, I would draft them in 30 days, like you're talking about. I would do them all in 1 month, and then I'd let them sit the next month. And then the month after, I would start the editing and read through process for myself. So it was really easy for me to structure my time and what my expectations were, because they really did work in like monthly increments for me. And now that my son is older and he's getting ready to go to school, so he's a lot more active and involved now. I have a new job. I'm working on school stuff myself to finish my credentials. Things have shifted a lot for me, and I'm a much slower writer than I used to be. So now expectations are more like 2 months. And for Trial in Flame and Wings, which is going to be a long book, I think it'll take me a lot longer to write that even than what I'm expecting. So I used to write just like that. And I kind of miss those days because there are so many of those fun challenges. I love some of those online things like that. Felicia said, my first 3 pregnancies were physically fantastic. That is pretty much how mine was. Nothing. The last 2 came with all of the symptoms. Yep. That's I only have my son. I only have my 4-year-old, and I actually felt more energetic when I was pregnant. I didn't go through any of those weird symptoms. There was a very brief period early on where I was a little sensitive to smells of meats in particular. So there was like a 2-week or 3-week period where my poor husband had the hardest time making dinners, and I basically stopped eating meat entirely at that point because I couldn't guarantee what would trigger that from day to day. And so that was it. But other than that, I had a wonderful, energetic pregnancy until about the 36th week. So I hope it's all going well for you, Jess. Hello, everybody. Margaret said, my first 30K happened over April, May, June. So this part is to concentrate the energy and finish strong. I hear you. Sometimes it just takes a bit of time to work through stuff, you know? All right. My doorbell went off. I think I just got a package. So excuse my dog, June. who's barking in the background. I think it has been 20 minutes. Holy cow. I think that this is a really good time to transition into a writing sprint. So, or a working sprint, whatever you might be doing. So, I'm going to go grab that package and then get my dog settled. And then I'm going to come back. And I think the first thing I'm going to work on is some of my editing clients. I need to jot out my schedules and I need to send out some things to, I think, just the one of them today that I got information from. So I have my notes. So step one, I'm going to work on that stuff. And then I may go around to planning for the month of August because that is something I've never done live and shared much of with you guys. I've shared it with Patreon members, like a breakdown of the month, how everything went, yada, yada. But I think since we're going to do, I'm hoping to do these live streams the first of every month, I think it would be kind of fun to go through my planning and what I am planning to release in the month of August. Maybe we'll send out my newsletter together also because that's information is always in the newsletter. So if you're not subscribed to that, you can pop over to amyprokopis.com and get subscribed to that. So let's do that. We're going to move into a sprint. We're going to do 25 minutes because it always feels like 20 is just a little too short for me. So let's do 25 and we'll chat here in a minute. All right, let's go. Woo! Okay. So clearly I changed clothes. I put on my Read Books Be Kind branded shirt, which you guys can get in the merch shop that's linked below. I will say though that the one with the big logo on it, like this, is a women's fitted shirt. And so it fits a tad tighter. I wear small, and this is a tad small for me. So if that's you, maybe size up. If I ordered this again, I probably would order a medium, just for a little more comfortability in like the shoulders. There is like a loose fit t-shirt though, and that's normal t-shirt sizing. But there are several goodies on the merch shop. I changed out of my work clothes this morning into something more comfortable in the middle of the stream. So, just to be more cozy and comfortable as we work. Jessica said 300-ish words for that one. That is awesome. I did not do a ton. I went through my emails. I needed to do that because I was a little backed up on some of those. Also, I printed out my publishing tracker pages. This is it's just a checklist I keep of things I need to do throughout the publication of each of my books. So there are 3 of them here. That first one I just kind of showed off is Trial of Flame and Wings. I have that here. I'm sort of getting prepped for the last half of this year, but also in the fall, I start planning out my releases for the next year. So I am already in pre-planning for 2025. And there are some books I want to definitely get around to publishing. I may actually, depending on how this new schedule works out for me, and if I do end up with a lot more extra time, which is what I'm kind of hoping for, then I may actually be able to get a book finished, an extra book finished, and I may actually rapid release something next year. So we will see. It'll take me, see how long it'll take me to get back around to that. I don't know. Jessica's taking a break to eat. I almost did not figure in that timing today, so I almost left too late to get a lunch today. Planning never ends as an author. Planning in general never ends. But yes, I'm always brainstorming and thinking about where everything fits into my publishing time frame, since it does take quite a bit of time to get a book from finished to published. There's always something on my list that I'm going to get to. So there's always stuff in the works. So I sat down to look at that. I decided to do that, kind of draft out those ideas, because I'm looking at my plan for things coming in August. And that kind of came up. As I think about what I need to do each month, I always think about the bigger picture also, which is this publishing timeline. And so it made me think about it. So I pulled it out to compare notes, essentially. I already have the YouTube videos planned out that I want to publish this month, which doesn't always happen. Usually there's something I struggle to come up with and something that changes after I push out my monthly newsletter, YouTube-wise. So there's almost always a video I plan to do that's listed in the newsletter that doesn't happen. But this month, I'm really excited about the videos I'm going to put out, the weekly videos, the Wednesday videos. So I do a vlog every Sunday, and then Wednesday I do like a specialty video. And this month, this video is one of them, this live stream. Next week on Wednesday, I'm planning to film and release things like common things I miss when I edit my own books. So mistakes I make in my own works, things my editor catches that I'm working on, that kind of stuff. And then the week after, I am publishing a video full of the most helpful tips that I got when I first started out publishing. So things that I found really helpful if you're starting from ground zero, those are things that I'm posting or putting in that video, just because some of those tips can help other people. And then some of them you'll just like throw away, like, that one's not for me, or that doesn't apply because I'm not writing that kind of a book, those kinds of things. So they're hit or miss, but they were tips that really helped me that I'm going to share because who knows, they're things sometimes people don't think about. Then I'm doing a video full of, that one's actually not listed. All of basically my author toolbox. So all of the software, the apps, the technology that I use that is super, super helpful in my life as an author. I've actually started using a brand new one this month or this week that I am super excited to tell you guys about because it has changed everything for me. The last couple of months, as my like social media has exploded, my followers and everything have exploded, and my sales increased, I have been bursting at the seams and barely able to keep up. And I found a software that has changed that already for me. And I am super excited to share that. And that's how I came up with the idea for that video, because there are a lot of softwares and a lot of tools and a lot of things that are available to authors that I don't think people tell you about just outright. They don't tell you do these things or use this app because it makes this part of being an author easier. They just tell you about this part of being an author. They don't tell you how to manage those kinds of things in a lot of videos. So I thought, let's just put together an entire like toolkit, so to speak, of things that I found really helpful. So I'm going to put that in a video. And then of course the self-care vlog. I have not been doing the best job keeping up with those videos, but I made a point to like sticky note it in my planner to do a better job this month in doing self-care things. And one of those things is just reading more often. I'm still working through Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass, still working through that series. And I am implementing that as some of my self-care between all of the other reading and writing I do. It's funny how different it feels to sit down and read a book for fun than it does reading to edit and then reading my own stuff. It feels very different. I could read the whole day and still feel like I'm doing very different things, even though the act's the same. It's so strange, but that is what I am planning to bring to the table in August. That among many other writing related things, but that's what I'm planning to bring to YouTube. So I think I may actually sit down and push that newsletter out next. I think that's what I'm going to do. So those of you on this live stream that get the newsletter, you should get that in your email inbox pretty soon, because I think I'm going to push that out in the next sprint. Also, this weekend on Saturday is the kickoff call for Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive course. If you don't know Sarah Cannon, or Heart Breathings as she's known on YouTube, or any of her books or things she does, her businesses, Sarah Cannon, a lot of her channel is all about author related things, writing related things. And one of her services is her Publish and Thrive course. I have watched for several years as this course has come and gone and as people have raved about it. And when I did some like research pretty recently, well, I guess months ago, this wasn't even recently, I just did it again to see if the data was different. But when I did some research to see what all of these successful authors had in common that were writing things similar to what I am, what a lot of them had done, just about all of them had done, was taken Sarah Cannon's Publish and Thrive course. So I decided, you know what? Let's do it. Because if anything, even if the information is not totally new to me, she is incredibly responsive to the people that are in that course. And I've already corresponded a little bit with her and others that have taken the course. You get access as an alumni to all of it over and over again. And you get put into a private group, Facebook group and Discord chat, where people are super nice and they help you with like problem solve things, provide feedback, and that community is amazing. So if anything, I knew I would get access to that. And so I'm excited to see what that brings to the table. And that is Saturday. So you guys still have time, I believe, to go and register to Sarah Cannon's course if you would like. She talks about it more on her YouTube channel, Heart Breathings. Definitely go subscribe to that if you're not, because she is amazing. And I've gotten a lot of tips and tricks about the publishing industry from her as a resource. So Jessica said, took that course last quarter and it helped so much. I am super excited to hear that because I have not taken it yet and I've wanted to forever and just haven't bit the bullet. I thought I could do my own research, I could find out other things, but she updates it all the time. So I am so excited to be a part of it. And if any of you are also a part of it, let me know and we can chat and enjoy the course together. So let's see. I have my monthly to-do jotted out here and my publishing planner. And we, I think, are good to jump into another sprint. Okie dokie. So let's do another 25-minute sprint because that did feel like a pretty good amount of time for me to get some stuff done. I think I'm going to continue with some of my planning here, just to wrap my head around the month, get some things finished up, and then I may switch over to editing and writing time. I would love to get back to some writing time today. So because I feel like I need it. So that, I believe, is what we will do. So 25 minutes up on our timer here. Let's go. Oh, okay. I'm still in like the planning phase over here. How has everything been for everyone else? How was that sprint? Hopefully good. Yes. Other things I need to get set up to go tomorrow is the tomorrow arcs for Curse of Wings and Darkness. This book go out. I only do ebook arcs nowadays. I don't do physical copies. Just because the return on investment is a little higher with ebooks than it is with physical copies. So I don't send out these nice physical ones anymore, but I do send out ebooks through BookFunnel, which is a tool that I use. There's been a lot of controversy right now over on, mostly on Bookstagram. I've seen it, but just in general in the book world about arcs being stolen and then pirated online. The reason I use BookFunnel now, not only just because it's really simple to upload and then have like a link and everything ready to go for your readers, but BookFunnel also has settings you can use so people can only read through BookFunnel. And also there are ways that they can like stamp everything that you upload, so that if it was pirated, you'd be able to tell a whole lot easier who has pirated it versus just sending it out to somebody. So that's kind of nice. Jessica had a really nice sprint. Ooh, you increased 100 words from last time, 400-ish in that sprint. So that's pretty good. It is 2:53 where I am anyway. We will wrap up at about 3:30-ish, probably. I need to go pick up Finn later. So that'll give me enough time to work on things a little bit. Yeah. So we are going to do that. I still have a bit more planning I want to do. Did not get the newsletter sent out quite yet, but I think I'm good to go. There were a few things I was sort of mulling over, but I think I need to just commit to it, because it seems like at least the YouTube side, there's always, like I said, there's always that video that changes. And in this case, YouTube is all set. It's what I want to put on Patreon this month. And because it's such a busy month and I have a lot of things going, there's lots that I can think of to put out on the Patreon. And so I think I'm just going to settle for what I've listed, and then I will probably put extra. So Patreon members, there's probably a lot coming your way, a lot more than is in the newsletter anyway. I think I'm just going to go ahead and send out the newsletter as it is. And actually, let's just tag on lots of surprises coming this month. There we go. That pretty much covers it all. So yeah, newsletter's set to go. Just need to send it out. Holy. But otherwise, everything's good on my end. I am excited about everything to come. Today I've been doing a lot of thinking about everything I want to put out and all of my exciting plans. There's just so much. Oh my goodness. There's so much writing I want to do. Oh, it'll be a good time. I do need to get around to editing though. So I think I may turn my attention after I send that out, the newsletter out, I may turn my attention to editing, and that might be what we do next. Yes, got a little bit distracted here. Sorry, guys. let's keep on rocking and rolling. What do we say? Jump straight on into the next sprint. I will send out my newsletter. I think that's really about all the extra things I had to tell you guys. ARCs go out. That's crazy. I cannot wait to see what my ARC readers think. This time around, I'm doing the largest amount of ARC readers that I've ever had. So I'm excited to see what the return on that will be. I'm hoping that everyone will be able to post their review when stuff goes up for that, and that'll get a lot of engagement with that. So we'll see. We will see. I don't know. I'm gonna jot down a lot of my ideas and compare this round of ARC readers to what I've done previously. So I'm gonna do that. I think I'm also gonna grab a snack. So 25 minutes is up on the clock. Let's do that. See where we land, and we may wrap up for the day, actually. So let's go. See you guys in 25. Okay. Oh, goodness. Took me a little bit to find the right tab because I have so many open on my computer. So that time around, I'm actually, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys. I am in the process of sort of shopping around for character artists. I have a few ideas for some different kinds of book covers and character art in general. I'm still playing with the idea of doing a Kickstarter, at least maybe for Trial of Flame and Wings, just because it is going to be a longer book. So my expenses, I'm already planning for my expenses to be a little bit higher with the publication of that book, just because it's going to be longer. And so I am playing with some ideas of character art and cover design and those kinds of elements. So that sprint got really sidetracked, and I ended up shopping around mostly on Instagram, looking at character artists. I have found a couple that I really like. I reached out to one maybe even a month ago, and I haven't heard back. I would really like to work with her, but I did find another one just now that did similar work and has some examples of things very similar to what I'm looking for. So I don't know. And that this character artist seems to be available starting in September. So that is really cool. I could spread out some of my expenses that way. So I am considering that. But also, I have not finished writing this book. So I kind of hate to commit to something that I may then want to like switch around. I don't know. I may want to do something else. We'll see. I don't know. We will see. But I think that was kind of my update. How about everybody else? Jessica said she struggled a little bit, only 200, kept getting distracted. Sounds like we all kind of kept getting distracted. What are you going to do? I also ate a snack during that sprint. All in all, it was a good one, though. I feel like I've wrapped my head around a few things. I got a lot of my monthly planning. Holy moly, I did not even send out the newsletter. That was like the one thing I planned to get done in that sprint, and I didn't even do it. What do you know? Maybe we've all just kind of hit a wall, and I need to take a break and do other things. I do really, really need to do some editing tonight, so I think I may end up being up a tad later to get that done, but I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So I think I am going to end the stream. So thank you guys for joining me. Let me know maybe like in the comments or in the chat if you want to do this again, maybe starting. This is a good way to kick off every month. It was really fun to reflect on things I'm looking forward to, being a little kinder to myself. I don't know. It was a good time. And of course, thank you guys for joining me. Yep. All right. Well, I will kind of forgot there what I was going for. I will see you guys in the next one. Read books, be kind. Bye.
Oh my God.